You've got to tune in 90.3 FM, KEXP, streaming all over the world at kexp.org. I'm Larry Rose, and I'm so excited to have Dream Syndicate live here in the KEXP studios. They're playing tonight at the Tractor Tavern with Eyelids. They have an amazing new album called How Did I Find Myself Here? Dream Syndicate, got a couple songs.
Where I'm hanging now, corruptible, destructible, capable of breaking or being broken. Not ready for what you got to give, tethered by reality. For so many years, I'm flying high and not ready to touch the ground. And I just fly. I may never get higher. I don't have to come down. I don't have to come down. I'm not bound by rules. I'm not corrupted by code or bothered by civility or norms or anything that kept me up. Night after night, older than I was, just slide. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Take it higher and higher, higher and higher. Cornered alone, beaten down and confused, slaughtered and traded out when I on the exits out more than I could use. You might say I was stuck on a pin with only one way to go, not in, not in. I had to get out, way, way out, beyond the pale, outside the trail, strictly no sin, just to get out of my head, just to get out of my head, just to get out of my head, anything to take me out of my head. Friends were worried, but what could I do? I might have said that I was worried about them too. What I had to do, I understood. I went higher and higher, it was good. It was very, very good. Just to get out of my head, just to get out of my head, just to get out of my head, anything to take me out of my head.
The Dream Syndicate live on KEXP. Man, that was incredible.
Yeah, we scaled some heights.
Yeah, yes. Playing tonight at the Tractor Tavern with Eyelids and have a brand new album. It's called How Did I Find Myself Here? And those are a couple songs from it, Glide and Out of My Head. I guess the obvious question is, how did you find yourself here?
Man, that's always a good question.
Yes.
It can evoke a lot of things, right?
It really can.
For all of us.
Yes. Such a great record. And Steve, would you like to introduce everyone in the band?
I would be very happy to, because it's a hell of a band.
Yes.
On the lead guitar out here is Jason Victor. And on the bass guitar, Mark Walton. And on the drums, Dennis Duck.
And Steve Wynn playing guitar and singing, doing the vocals. And you're no stranger to KEXP. You've been here with your solo projects and with the baseball project. And
the Dream Syndicate one time. Yes.
Yeah.
For Bumbershoot that time. So we've had a lot of sessions, but I have not been in the new facility and this new room. So congratulations on that. It's fantastic.
Thank you. We're so elated. It's incredible. And thanks to listeners who donate to the station and made this all possible. I wanted to just do a brief history of the band. You guys formed out of the Paisley Underground back in Los Angeles in the 80s, put out 4 amazing albums, and then went off on your own to do other things. And now, about 2012, reformed.
That was a really great way of reducing about 30 years down to 45 seconds. That's great.
I'm limited on time, so
no, I'm impressed. That's it.
Could you tell me about what kind of generated that renewal or getting back together again in 2012?
Yeah, the short version of that, and there's longer versions have been told, but is that we reunited for a festival in Spain, and it was the type of thing where we said, now's the time. Why not? Let's do it. And from the very beginning, we approached the reunion and doing shows as, let's keep doing a little bit at a time, and if it's fun, we'll do a little more. So we did this show in Spain, did a couple short tours of Europe, did shows here and there in the States, played Bumbershoot here in Seattle.
Right.
And each time we kept thinking, this is really fun, and people were digging it. And I think we hit the point a couple years ago, we said, I think it's time to make a record.
Okay.
And part of that reason was because we were doing justice, I thought, to the history of the Dream Syndicate, which was important, but it felt like a new band. It felt like we were doing something really exciting right now, and it was time to see what that would sound like.
Sure.
And I'm really, we did that with this record. We went in and blasted it out and said, that's a band with an old name, but some new sound happening. Let's keep following that up.
Wow. Yeah, and you guys sound so tight on the new record, and it sounds incredible. It's like you never were apart. It just sounds seamless from the 80s to now.
It's a neat little trick trying to, for a band reforming, a lot of bands, but trying to be true to people's memories and the fans. And, the great thing about our shows we find is that, the old fans are coming down grooving, but like every night, lots of young people who weren't around the first time around, who have heard about the band, who maybe had it, their parents were into it or whatever, older brother, who knows. But we want to give them enough stoking of the memories, but saying, now that you got your memories filled, check out now.
No, that's so great to have the opportunity to see you live. And playing tonight at the Tractor Tavern, and then you guys are going on tour in Europe, and then coming back to the States.
Yes, we're doing 3 weeks in Europe, starting in Oslo. It's all on our website, thedreamsyndicate.com. You can go on there and you can see the history and all that. But we're doing a 3-week tour of Europe, and then another 3 weeks in the States.
Great. What was it like getting back in the studio with, I think 3 of the 4 of you are original members, if I have that right.
Pretty close, yeah.
And I know Jason's been with you playing with your solo projects.
That's right, yeah. Jason and I together, no stranger to the station either. We've done a lot of things here with the Miracle 3.
Yes.
And Dennis and I go back to the first album and beginning, and Mark's been in the band since '84, and we actually kind of joined the band for a tour with REM that we did and came through here way back when. So but the thing is, Jason being the new guy or whatever, it's the same way I guess Ron Wood's the new guy in the Stones. That same thing. This lineup has played together now for 5 years, and that's the longest Dream Syndicate lineup there's been. So in a way, for some people with the new record and the shows, they're just getting turned on to what we're doing now. But the reality is, this is kind of a veteran lineup at this point.
No, it really is. Yeah. What was it like in the studio? Was it different? Did you use different techniques this time after 29 years? Did it feel different just in terms of putting the music together?
It's funny. We went in, I think this happened to other bands too, they figured this out. We went in and said, okay, it's time to do that record. Let's do it right, whatever. And, we did, I'm thinking right now the way we're here in the studio, we had the headphones on, the amps in different rooms, and we said, you know what? We're a band that plays like a band. Get rid of the headphones, put the amps in the same room, let's just play like we're having fun, and like we're having fun. We were having fun, and play music.
Sure.
And it just came together immediately. It really was, it was no effort. It was no going down and making, notepads of plans and strategies. Like play music.
Well,
and it worked.
It really worked, and it really sounds like it on the new record.
Yeah.
I know there's at least one song, I think, Like Mary, that was a song that you'd had around for a long time. and brought it back.
Yeah. That was that goes back to the very, very beginning. It was it was a song had rehearsed I think once or twice and then scuttled away. But Dennis was always a good archivist. He would tape he had a little boom box to always come to the rehearsals, and everything was recorded. And we went back years later and went, that's kind of a cool song. And it was really just a simple, simple little riff that and the title, and nothing else bears any resemblance to that. But I thought, man, it'd be fun to have certain ties to history, and doing this song that was a little, blink of an eye, little moment back then brought that back. And the other thing, in the same way, is that having Kendra Smith, the bass player in Days of Wine and Roses, on the new record, kind of ties it all together nicely.
It really does, and it's great to hear her again on the record. She was only on the very first record, right? And
the first EP, right?
And the first EP, yeah. Okay, and then she went off to do Opal, and then
she did Opal and the band which became Mazzy Star.
Right.
And she did a great solo record in '96, and really hadn't done. Well, she's been making music on her own, but she hasn't released anything since then. And we stayed in touch. We stayed friends, but we were working on a song on the new record called "Recurring," and the song was cool, but I didn't really dig my words. Like, the great track, and the band's playing great, but I just can't. I can't. That type of thing when you're working on something and you're writing a song or writing anything, and you don't like it, but you can't get. You're so used to the thing you don't like that nothing else seems right. So I said, what can I do to salvage this track? And I thought, let's ask Kendra. And she, at first said, I think it's great you guys are back together, and I like this song, but I don't do this anymore. And after a while, she relented.
And she put it together, and she emailed you the song, right? Her vocals.
We were going into mixing 2 days later, and I thought, well, that's not going to happen. And I woke up on a Sunday morning and saw an email from her with an attachment, and the attachment turned to be vocal tracks.
That's so cool.
That was that.
Wow. And the song's called Kendra's Dream. It's the last track on the album. The album is called How Did I Find Myself Here? Great record. One more question. The song you're about to play next is Filter Me Through You, which I love. And you have a video for that, and you're driving around in a 68 convertible Bonneville.
That's right. Cherry red.
Yeah. What was that like?
Oh, well, driving that car, first of all, was great. On top of that, we did that video. With the current lineup, we're scattered about. Jason and I live in New York City. Mark lives in Las Vegas, and Dennis lives in Los Angeles. He's the one LA holdover. Right. People say, you're an LA band. I'm like, well, Dennis lives in Pasadena. But we get together to play, and we got together in June to play a festival in the Arctic Circle, a place called Vadso. If you look it up on the map, VADSO, just take a look. And it's up at the top of Finnmark, where Norway and Russia meet. If you Google the northernmost 10 cities in the world, that's in the top 10. So you're way up there, where Santa Claus lives.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And we were up there for a festival put together by a friend of ours, and it was the Filthy Friends, who I know have been there.
Yes.
And the Baseball Project, band I play in, and Hal Gelb, and John Paul Jones, and a bunch of other people getting together and playing these shows. But I mean, you're so far from home, and the one thing about being there in this time of year, in June 21st, for example, is the longest day of the year, and the sun doesn't set. The sun didn't set the whole time we're there. So it's a shaggy Norway story, but to get to the point, we decided this is the time to do a video because we're all together.
Sure.
And the video crew had this kind of idea of us maybe driving around. I said, well, somebody here must have a cool old car. This guy pulls up in this cherry red 68 Bonneville. And I said, that's the one, and I'm driving. So it was a lot of fun. And we were driving from around midnight, 1 in, and it's bright sunshine daylight.
That must be incredible.
And at one point, Jason said, well, we were driving around a corner there, at midnight, making a video in Norway, in this Bonneville, and everything about it is weird. And we pull up to the corner, and standing in the corner waving to us is John Paul Jones and his wife, Mo, waving, hey. Wow. And he pulls out a camera, takes a picture of us, and Jason said, a very surreal moment, just got a whole lot more surreal.
That is very surreal. Well, sounds incredible. Yeah. Well, let's hear that song and a couple more from the Dream Syndicate. Dream Syndicate playing live at KEXP, and the new album is How Did I Find Myself Here? They're playing at the Tractor Tavern tonight. Take it away.
All right.
If I can't help you or anything that reminds me of you, I'll carry on. So you might miss me when I'm gone. I'm in the ether. It's now on me to filter me through you. Filter me through you. Filter me through you. Filter me through you. If you go away, anywhere that I can stay, slice myself thin, so I might live beneath your skin. Lost in the zone, surrounded and alone. Filter me through you. Filter me through you. Filter me through you. Filter me through you. If I can't have you or anything that reminds me of you, I'll carry on. So you might miss me when I'm gone. On the ether, it's now on me to filter me through you. 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 Filter me through you.
Let's open it up a little bit.
prodigal son who could not go on. How did I find myself here? Open wide and I swallowed the tide. How did I find myself here? But I could not believe, I could hardly conceive. So I knew I had to leave, I had to leave. I'm wondering who put a spell on me and you. How did I find myself here? Tripped up by my own game, so I put my finger to the flame. How did I find myself here? But I just didn't know what I laid out below. So I knew I had to go, I had to go. An impossible tide, so I stepped right inside. How did I find myself? Refugee who couldn't see. How did I find myself? But I just didn't know what I laid out below. So I knew I had to go, I had to go.
The Dream Syndicate live on KEXP. That is the title track to their brand new album. It's called How Did I Find Myself Here? Sounding better than ever, man.
Oh,
you guys are
right.
incredible. The Dream Syndicate, is there going to be another album?
Oh yes, very soon actually.
Nice.
We're having too good a time. We're digging, so we're going to get in the studio right away and do a second one.
I love it. You guys sound
See, I'm saying
so
second one,
incredible.
not fifth, not sixth, but second one.
Wow. Yeah, exactly. Yes,
We
that's right.
push the reset button.
Yeah, well, it's hard to believe that it was 29 years between albums. Sounds incredible. Tonight at the Tractor Tavern, it's Dream Syndicate playing with Eyelids. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And
Pleasure. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you here. Have a great tour. They're heading to Europe and then back to the U.S. in December. It's the Dream Syndicate on KEXP, where the music matters.
All right.